authors. Was it easy for you to name your book, or did it take you a while to come up?
Ooh, I love this question because it's essentially asking how long is a piece of string? That's the simplest answer I can give you, right? And I know that sounded very mean to open a video with, but it is pretty much that simple, and every author that's going to stitch your video is going to give you a different answer. And I'm going to be one of those people who give you a different answer. Sorry. It depends on the story. Uncomfortable had its own title from the get-go. Like, I had a title before I had a story. I have a story that I've been talking about, Marilyn and Cassidy's. I originally called it like 173 because if they don't have a title, they have a number. That's how many stories there are for me to work through. And then I decided to call Marilyn and Cassidy's story Chasing Rainbows because fertility issues and rainbow babies. But then I started working on it and I was like, I don't like this title, so I scrapped it. Other titles have come to me before I've even started writing the book. Uncomfortable is a perfect example. Other titles have come when I'm in the editing phases, and I use that term very loosely. So stories like In Our Blood or Pull the Trigger, they came halfway through the story. In Our Blood is only called In Our Blood purely because it's about a father and daughter. Prisoner of Love only came together because it was a man holding his ex-wife hostage. And then there's other stories where it kind of feels very simplified. I have a story called Finding Elvis. It's literally about trying to find Elvis Presley, so you know. But no, it depends on the story. Some stories are really easy. If you look through my folder of like 400 work in progresses, you will see how many of them are literally numbered instead of with titles. But they also do change. I have a story called The Callaways, and it's a trilogy. And as much as I love that story, the titles may change because the titles are literally just their names. So Natalie, Bobby, Robert. And that may change when I go to revise them, but it all depends on the story. So yeah, essentially the answer is, how long is a piece of string? Because there's no right or wrong way. It doesn't matter if you come up with the title before you come up with the book. It doesn't matter if you come up with the book before the title. As long as there's a title before you publish, that's the main thing. It's going to make it easier to find your audience. But no, it's definitely one of those things that finds itself in its own little time and somehow makes sense when you're finished, or at least by the time you finished. Because you can have one title at the beginning, but then it'll change halfway through, or it will change at the end. But yeah, I don't think I answered that question, did I? I'm sorry. I'm really bad at this.